Joe Rogan and Alex Pereira speak on Israel Adesanya rematch. Alex Pereira defeating Israel Adesanya was one of the most insane UFC moments of 2022, and now Pereira is receiving praises from almost everyone in the UFC industry. And it seems like Israel Adesanya isn't very accepting of it. Joe Rogan and Alex Pereira recently had a sit-down on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and Alex Pereira is seen speaking pretty highly of himself. Not really humble at all, and actually very gassed up because he defeated the champion himself for a second time. Israel Adesanya is obviously a highly respected martial artist and has managed to defend his title belt time and time again. But it seems like he just has some bad luck whenever going up against his rival, Alex Pereira. Ever since Israel Adesanya faced Alex Pereira, the UFC has been different, with Alex Pereira being the first ever UFC fighter to climb to the top of the charts that fast and actually become the champion. Alex has been receiving a bunch of praises and was actually put on the front cover of the UFC game. It was a must that Joe Rogan had Alex Pereira on his podcast, and you must remember, Joe Rogan respects Alex Pereira highly. Joe Rogan was actually a fan of Alex Pereira since the beginning of his career. He knew about him before he ever joined the UFC. Joe Rogan has been fascinated in Alex Pereira for a long time now, and finally he was able to get him on the podcast. All I know is after watching these clips, it shows how unique Alex Pereira is, and obviously there's no denying his strength. But, being an Israel Adesanya fan, I do feel like Izzy is being put down when he's actually achieved much more than Alex Pereira. Joe Rogan and Alex Pereira get into a bunch of different topics, but one of the most interesting ones is the topic of Alex Pereira's future rematch against Israel Adesanya. After seeing Alex Pereira's reaction to Joe Rogan's questions about the rematch, you actually will notice something very unique. All I know is there's a lot to get into today, so be sure to stick around and watch this video until the very end as we get into things one detail at a time. Trust me when I say you won't want to miss a thing. Thanks for stopping by today and visiting us at Warrior Report. We post daily UFC updates and news that you really should know about if you're a fan. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, leave a like, and comment keyword UFC to enter a chance at winning our brand new iPhone giveaway. One lucky viewer is picked at the end of each month. Now, let's jump into this video and take a closer look at Joe Rogan and Alex Pereira speaking on Israel Adesanya rematch. Israel Adesanya has been keeping it pretty low-key since his previous match against Alex Pereira. It was obviously a hard loss to face, and seeing Izzy lose like that was heartbreaking. If you watch the match, then we all know if there was literally 5 more seconds in the second round, then Alex Pereira would have been knocked out. But that's not how the cookie crumbled, and we must give our respects to Alex Pereira for defeating the defending champ himself. The legend himself, Israel Adesanya, is obviously a GOAT in the UFC, and if you're a true critic, then you know that. Sometimes you can't win them all unless you have a very unique career like Khabib Nurmagomedov or Floyd Mayweather. These guys are one of a kind, and Israel Adesanya's career has been playing out in its own unique way. Now, Izzy is preparing for his rematch against the man who's defeated him twice in mixed martial arts, the current champion of the middleweight division, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira got into a bunch of different topics on the Joe Rogan podcast, but I must say that the most interesting one was his background and ancestry. If you didn't know already, Alex Pereira comes from Brazil, but not the average part of Brazil. Alex Pereira's family are known as jungle people in Brazil and are actually nicknamed Stonehands. These people are very strong and have survived in the jungle up until today, creating a civilization and living their lifestyles the old-fashioned way, a very dangerous way. This goes to show why Alex Pereira is actually such a savage at heart, and it's very interesting once you actually read more about the stone people of Brazil. Alex Pereira is most definitely a unique person, and it's safe to say that the UFC has never seen a guy like this before. He's literally already made history. Nobody has ever became the champion that fast, and I must say, I don't think his record will ever be beaten. It was a very unique situation and it worked out for him. The UFC has been a very interesting place in the year of 2022, And I know for a fact that 2023 will be full of great surprises as well.